Welcome aboard. Daddy is home. We are live on a Thursday. And I'm fired up, boys. Couple weeks off, a lot of energy. Glad to be back in the saddle. Let me welcome in the co-hosts, Richard the King and J Corp the Prowler. What's going on, boys?
Hey, welcome back.
It's good to
Yeah,
be
welcome
back.
back. Welcome back.
Good
It's
to be
tough.
back. What's good, man? What's good? I know you guys miss me, but what's the good word, man? It's been a couple of weeks. How's everyone doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. We got to get back on. This is a Detroit-based podcast, um, as you all know, and we got to get back on the saddle with the Pistons tomorrow with Game 6. Win tomorrow, and then win at home for Game 7, and then our Tigers are struggling, but we're gonna get back. Just got to get through these injuries and get back to the winning ways.
The Tigers are so beat up and injured right now. It's a tough watch. Pistons we will obviously get into, so don't want to go too deep into that now, but we got a jam-packed show for you guys. Young Richard, you start the golf league tonight, man?
Absolutely, I did. It's phenomenal. Winning ice cold. Haven't had the time to golf this year yet, and I had a freaking chip in birdie from 80 yards out on the fourth hole. Parred the hole before that, and then parred another hole and shot a 45 ice cold. So felt great. Man, is it it's the ultimate escape. Even though that the shit will get in your head sometimes, and you'll never want to go back, but that next good shot always reels you back in.
I mean, 80-yard out is a dude. That's a
Oh
I
yeah,
wouldn't
and we're
even.
like on the green. It was like from my point of view, the two of the guys, my cart, the guy that was riding in the cart with me, was back behind me, and then so neither of us could see. Like the sun was shining down on the green, and then there was like some shade from some trees. So back where the pin was placed, once I dropped it on the green, we cut. I was like, well, and the guy was right me. We can't see. And then the other guy's like, it's in. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's not even a chip, Richard. I mean, that's deep.
Yeah, I mean, it was like bounce, bounce, and the guys in the other cart on the backside of the green said it rolled maybe 2-3 feet. So I mean, it was almost a fucking slam dunk. Hopefully, I'll
Is
end up winning. Hopefully, I'll end up winning a skin on it. But there was another guy that got a birdie, but I don't know what hole it was on. So
is that your longest chip in ever?
um, it's close. I had one before from like 100, just over 100 out.
Yeah, it's deep, man. I think the longest thing I've ever hit in is like 30, 40 yards out. I mean, 80's a bomb. I mean, especially
Yeah,
for you. I mean, that's like that. What? That's probably a full. That's
I
probably a
mean, no, that's
full.
like the perfect. That's like 60 to
That's
80
a
yards.
full gap. That's a full gap wedge for you, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's my one of my favorite shots. I mean, I'm elite in the short game, and chipping and putting. So
Yeah, good shit, man. Weather was a beautiful night. That's obviously a huge confidence boost to start it off, and just that's regardless if you would have golfed like shit for the rest of the round, you hit one of those shots, man. That's how golf reels you in.
oh yeah,
It's the
absolutely.
most challenging sport alive, in my opinion, but it can be the most rewarding. All right, boys, let's jump in. We got a jam-packed show. We got a lot to get to. Let's kick it off. Round the league.
News of the week.
This is the biggest stories in sports, according to us. Each of us have a specific topic for a specific league or sport. We're going to go around the horn, ask the tantalizing question, get the deep burning answers, and then cap it off with a hot take. Diesel is going to kick us off, and I'm staying with Major League Baseball. My question for the group is the first half of the baseball season boring? I'm interested to hear what you guys got to say.
So I'll jump in first. Yeah, I mean, I think it's boring because just the fact of you don't really know. So being a Detroit-based podcast, our old skipper for the Tigers, Sparky Anderson, always his rule of thumb was always you won't know what you have until 40 games. So I mean, about 40, 50 games, and really that's almost 40, 50 games is almost 33% of the season. You don't really know what you have until 33% of the season is over. So yeah, I think it's kind of boring because you don't know what you have yet. And then I mean, if you get, like, for instance, position we're in right now, the injuries have piled up so much, and then didn't really make that many upgrades to the offense, so it's just really killing us right now. So yeah, I do think that the first part of baseball is boring. What do you think, Corp?
Yeah, and kind of jumping, I don't know necessarily it's any more or less boring than it is mid-season. I think that it's just you're not going to be able to compete with the NBA playoffs and the NHL playoffs. And so our eyes are tied to something else where we have sports that they're playing meaningful games, and that's what we want. Whether it's March Madness, NFL playoffs, college football playoffs, when we know that those players are showing up and playing to the best of their ability to actually win with shit on the table, with more than just collecting a paycheck, their pride's on the line. Everybody's watching. Those games are what we're looking for. And with baseball being such a long season, that first part of the year is just kind of lost to see, is my team going to be a contender, or are we pretender, or are we just bad? And so it's not necessarily the product isn't boring, but like we're hesitant to be all in, all out. What should our team be doing? What should my expectations be? Then you get into like the midsummer, and for me, it's like more of a frustration because like I'm picking and choosing, and so if I pick and choose and watch this game, then I'm frustrated that it wasn't an elite game, but like it's just part of where they are in the rotation. They got guys hurt, coming back from injury. There's a lot of moving parts, and then as you get down the stretch, it's like everybody's making their run. They're making their final trades, and then they're making their run to make the pennant chase. And so that's when it gets exciting. But the climb from start to excitement, as far as that type of perspective, is a much longer climb. Double the 82 season, and then what, quadruple football season. And so it's just not necessarily boring from a sports perspective, but it's just these
Oh,
games
dude.
don't matter. And
Yeah,
they,
it's like 10x of the football season, damn near.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I thi- I just think the season is so long that the stuff early just doesn't really matter. Now, don't get me wrong. I love baseball. I'm one of the sickos that I think there's something romantic about the 162 game season and baseball being on 6, 7 days a week and knowing you always got a game and something to check into and watch. But just in general, it's just with the season being so long, just the first half, it's you really, unless you completely shit the bed, you're not out of it. It doesn't mean anything. And even if you have a great first half, we saw last year with the Tigers, they had the best record in baseball at the All Star break, uh, and then didn't even win the division, right? So it's like right now, the Tigers are 40 plus games in, and they stink right now. They also got 15 guys on the injured list, but it's like, so it's just one of those things. They could get hot next week. They start getting healthy. They could get hot, reel off 8 to 10, and next thing you know, they're in first place in a bad division. So it's just, for me, as much as I love baseball, the first half, definitely to the general fan, unless you are at the game, is boring. I just think baseball really, where baseball really heats up, is obviously that stretch where it's the only show in town, and that's really right after the All Star break. So you come off the All-Star break, and then from there on out, it's pretty much a 2.5 month sprint to make the playoffs and get yourself in a position to make an actual postseason run. But 162 is not for the faint of heart, man. It is a long season. You can't even get too upset with the lows, and you can't even get too excited about the highs. So just because of the fucking length, it sort of dampers the emotion and the energy around it. Either way, good or bad. Like I said, the Tigers stink right now, but I'm not too low on it. If the Tigers were the best team in baseball right now, I wouldn't be too high on it. And that just is more about the length of the season, because you look at it now, most teams 45, 50 games in, it's like they still have 110 plus games left. So it's just, man, oh man, it's a long season. And I don't see Major League Baseball changing it, but I think for the average fan, they don't care until later on in the year.
Yeah, there's definitely some things they can do with baseball to make it more exciting for the fans, as far as maybe it's expanding the playoffs or how they go about doing that. I know they've tinkered with that in the past, but um
What about like a first half title? You know what I mean? Like the NBA, even the NBA at 82 games is trying to make the first half of the season more relevant with the
well,
play-in tournament, right? That's the goal. That's of the in-season tournament. Uh, like that's the goal with what they're doing there. It hasn't really caught on for me, but I appreciate the effort that they're trying to bring some intensity to a long season and break it up to where you don't hit that I don't care until it hits the last 20 games of the season. So it's like, does baseball maybe break the season up into two halves? Like they do that in the minor leagues. So the minor leagues do a first half and a second half, but they don't do playoffs for the first half. So you can win the league in the first half, and then the second half of the league actually does end in playoffs.
I like the idea if there's stakes involved and not just money for the players, but like if they get a free bid to a playing game, if the NBA playing game or playing tournament, you got to be in the playing game no matter what, and if you win that tournament, that changes things for teams.
Like if you win that tournament, you're automatically in the actual playoffs
Or
type
like
deal.
just they're what the 10th seed, so they have to you're at least you have to win one game and then you're in. Like you're invited to the table type thing. Like there's a way you can work it out where like you play the last place team, and if you beat them, then you're in and they're out, no matter what your record is. Like you earn something for the
Yeah,
postseason.
you could do something that, like, if you were the best team in your league in the first half, like you automatically, like if for some reason you did not win your division, like you would automatically qualify for a wild card spot.
Yeah, something like that where it makes it if you did like a giant tournament at that time of the year too, that would get me to watch it. Oh, this is the midseason tournament starting. Like I would be, it would pique my interest to say, okay, there's a futures bet I can make. There's things that these guys are trying for. They're going to try and make the playoffs. And now, if you make that playoff, if you get that spot, now like the rest of your season kind of changes, where you're not necessarily chasing wins as much as like you're preparing for that. You already know it. You know, teams can go all in. They can make changes to their roster in a way that they already know they made it, and now they
Yeah.
have to prepare for that. So it gives it a different element, and it would definitely give some good talking points. But I think I would be more, tuning in, and same thing with like college baseball. I'm gonna watch the World Series, but that's
Yeah. Dude, if I was Rob Manfred, or if I was commissioner of Major League Baseball, like I would be exploring something like that to give the first half of the season meaning. Because there wouldn't be nothing cheap about uh, awarding uh, something for 80 games. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like, hey, you only like oh, this is cheap because it was 20 games worth. It's like, no, this is 80 games. Like that's a strong sample size at that
Right.
point.
Instead of like what is it, the All-Star game that, settles the isn't it the all
The
who wins the
home field
All-Star game?
advantage.
They
Home
used
field
to do
advantage for
that.
World Series.
They got rid of that.
Maybe like have that be, whatever team wins that, they get the, home field advantage in the World Series or whatever. Like Court mentioned about the NBA, like the I mean the in-season tournament of the NBA is pointless. All it does is benefit the players and give them more money. It doesn't, benefit the team at all.
Well, like I said, at least they're trying though. But I think
Yeah, I mean they should
you could do
add
a
like draft picks or
you could do
something.
a component to where, like I said, I think if you win the in season tournament in the NBA, you should automatically be in the playoffs. Like regardless, like
Just locked
at,
into the eighth seed or like Corporal said,
or
automatic
just
10th
whatever it
seed
is. Like,
play-in
hey,
game.
you're locked into the playoffs, or say like for the NBA, and I know we're getting on in a rabbit hole, but like you could be like, hey, you get to move up a seed. So you win the in-season tournament. So say I was the Cavs and I won the in-season tournament this year. Instead of being the 4 seed, I would get to move up to the 3 seed.
Yeah, something.
If you make it
But
something inside the game that benefits the postseason, it makes it so much better. And that's I think
for
the
everyone,
key. Yeah.
yeah. All right, Court, let's keep it moving. What do you got
All
for us?
right. So we're going to swing over to the NFL and start kind of breaking down some of this off season. And I wanted to start with the divisional breakdowns of the AFC West. In my view, this is a good division worth breaking down first. It gives us a lot to talk about, but it's also more structured than a lot of divisions that have moving parts in the offseason. This is more or less, we know what we're getting from these teams in a lot of ways. We've talked about the Chargers a lot with their coaches changing. We talked about the Raiders a lot with their first draft pick and the Cousins. We know the Chiefs and the Broncos are one of those rising teams that could, make that final push. So my question to you guys are, who wins the division? Who is the fantasy breakout and who is the fantasy bust? From this AFC West. And for those that don't know, Denver, Kansas City, Vegas, and Chargers.
Rick, I'll let you kick us off here.
All right, so I think it's going to be. I think Denver's going to win the division. I think LA is going to give them a very good challenge, but I think in the end, just no, okay. But I think Denver overall. I mean, they added Jalen Waddle for the breakout fantasy wise, but I think it's kind of obvious who my pick is going to be, and that's going to be with Patrick Mahomes recovering from the ACL surgery and everything. I think it's going to be Kenneth Walker. Um, the bust, I think, is going to be. I mean, it's hard to say. Probably. I mean, we don't know who's going to be if it's going to be Mendoza or, if are they really going to have Kirk Cousins start? How many games? If they're going to have him start, don't know. But I'm going to go with what's his name's going to go on a downturn, Brock Bowers.
Okay, that's one I haven't heard yet.
Interesting.
Walker's
Interesting.
going at 16 overall, and Bowers at 23 in best ball right now. And so those are average draft positions for those guys. And if you're taking Bowers at the end of the second round, early third, and he busts, that hurts that roster. And
There's no way that the situation in Vegas this year is worse than it was last year. So Bowers didn't live up to his ADP last year, but there's no way that it's not a better situation for him this year, whether it's Cousin or ultimately who I think it's going to be Mendoza throwing him the football. So I completely disagree with Rick on that one. In terms of winning the division, I think you're going to see a very angry uh, Kansas City Chiefs team coming back into it this year with missing the playoffs last year. Sometimes you need to be humbled. You need that kick in the ass to realize, to put you sort of back in your place and to get that hunger back. And I think they definitely had a bit of fat cat syndrome. When you're at the top for so long, you just think you can turn the switch, right? So it's like, oh yeah, we lost some games, no big deal. We'll just flip the switch. And then sometimes you run into seasons or situations where you can't. And the Chiefs ran into that last year, and they got smacked in the face. They didn't think they were going to miss the playoffs, and they did. So I think uh, Kelsey's long in the tooth. This could be his last season. They're coming off, like I said, they're going to be hungry. They're going to be, the energy is going to be refocused. I like what they did in the offseason. Adding Kenneth Walker is huge. This team has not had a run game in 5 years. They've somehow won Super Bowls with shitty run games. Pacheco had the one good season, but like he's not a elite NFL running back. He's not even a good NFL running back. So I think adding Walker is absolutely huge, and that just transitions me into where I do actually agree with Rick. K9 is the breakout player. I know it's already reflected in the ADP, but he's coming from a 50-50 timeshare in Seattle, and he's going to get to be the lead dog. So what we do know about Andy Reid, there's not really such thing as a bell cow back anymore. You don't see teams just use one guy and run him into the ground. So the Chiefs are going to use other people in the backfield. They're going to use the rookie out of Nebraska. They're going to use Amari DiMercato. Like they're going to use other guys, but K9's going to get a higher percentage share than he's ever had, and it's going to be in a more explosive offense than he's ever played in. Even though obviously I'm not hating on the Super Bowl champs offense from last year, but it's nothing like potentially the Chiefs offense could be with that type of offensive firepower that they have. In terms of the bust, I actually think it's going to be Ashton Genty from the Raiders. So I think Rick was on the right track, but he picked the wrong guy. Brock Bowers is bust proof, man. And both of those quarterbacks love throwing to the tight end. And Vegas does not have a wide receiver one. They have the worst wide receiver core in the league. So I actually love Brock Bowers this year. But I do think there is definitely some cause for concern around Genty. And here's why. Clint Kubiak is a two back system guy. And I'm not talking two back in terms of how Kansas City is going to use their 2-3 backs. He is a 50-50 split guy. That's why Kenneth Walker was sharing the load with Zach Charbonnet. He is not going to change that ideology. That's why they spent a 4th-round pick on combine freak Mike Washington Jr. So people thinking that they're just drafting someone to back up Genty. No, they're not. They drafted Mike Washington Jr. with the intentions of him getting 40+% of the workload. So you're going to see a major workload reduction for Genty because Pete Carroll did draft him to be the workhorse, and that's what he was last year. But you're going to see that completely flip this year. I'm not saying he can't be productive. I'm not saying he won't be an RB1. What I am saying is he will not live up to his ADP. So where he's going at in best balls and where he's going to go at in year-long leagues, Genty is a full fade for me right now.
Okay, that's different than everybody's optimistic. So it's nice to hear some of these fades that are good. My only problem with Kenneth Walker is he needs to catch the ball to be good, elite, and then he needs to stay on the field and for him to raise above his average draft position. I think he can do it. He's somebody that I've tried to target in a lot of dynasty leagues and I've drafted many times over the years. So I think that's a solid one. But Genty, it fits a mold that these running backs that are drafted in the top, I think it's 25 since 2015, they finish in the top 12 in fantasy in their first or second year. And I think Genty finished there at 12, so that could kind of hurt him from that statistical standpoint. And then, Bowers, I think is going to be beast mode. Um, and so, I like what you're saying there, Sean, with with the Genty bust because this time of the year it's all hype train, and so to kind of like hear a different perspective about him kind of makes me.
Yeah, I'm a full fade on Genty on where he's being drafted at.
And so my winner of the division will get us a three-way split here because it's gonna be the Chargers. I think it's their year. Everything's lining up for Justin Herbert to have a pretty big year offensively. They got offensive line intact. Jim Harbaugh's got the team. Um, Now he's been there a year, and they're moving forward together. They know what it's expecting. They're getting Njoku and these other pieces to help out with the longevity of the season. I think that they are primed and ready to make a run at this division. And I do. The other team I would say is Kansas City. I think Denver's going to have a setback after the season they had. I don't know how many of these close comeback wins, these less than a touchdown wins, Denver can continue to pull off. I know we've said that about other teams, and I'm not ready to crown them as historically good. I want to see more out of Bo Nix. I want to see more out of Denver, and that's why my bust is going to be Jalen Waddle. I think Waddle is a beast of a player. I just don't think that this offense is going to feature him in a way that we're going to enjoy from a fantasy level. He's going at 54 overall, 25 the 25th receiver. He won't be on many of my teams. He'll go ahead of where I'm willing to take him based on name value with the trade. He's front of mind. Um, I just don't think that he's going to have the level of fantasy production on a per game basis that we want out of our receivers. And so he's going to be a bust for me and more of an avoid. I don't think that's long term. I don't think that it's forever. But right now, he's somebody that I am not going to be all in on by any
So
means.
yes, so the ADP on Waddle is a lot higher. The guy that I actually think who's hurt the most by Waddle though is Cortland Sutton. So I mean, I think
Fresh off a 1,000-yard season, but I mean he was
like
clear
so
cut
it's
number one. But
so it's like Sutton was a guy that I liked last year, had a pretty solid year. I look at a guy like Waddle just because how explosive he is off the line of scrimmage. He gets open, so it's like he's going to get a lot of easy targets closer to the line of scrimmage. So like to for me, he's almost bust proof. That don't mean he won't live up to the ADP, but he's just a lot easier to get fed because they're easier throws and he gets open quicker. Sutton's a guy that needs to develop it further down the field, and Denver has like a few of those guys that do the similar thing with
Marvin Mims,
Troy Franklin and Pat Bryant and like so it's like I don't know. I think Sutton's the most affected. I don't know if Waddle can live up to that ADP because I mean there's sort of a lot of mouth like they're not great mouse, but it sort of reminds me of like a Green Bay Packers situation last year where they had Dobbs and they had Watson and they had Reed and they had Wicks and they had Golden and they got you know what I mean? So it's just like Denver's in that same spot. They got Waddle, they got Sutton, they got Bryant, they got Mims, they got Franklin. So it's like just a lot of guys that are consistently going to see the field. So I think Sutton could be the one who gets fucked by all this.
Yeah, that's
He's
definitely could be true. I mean,
he's another he's another guy that I'm fit. So I have already started best ball drafting. So and in my early ones, I think Sutton is going like in the 80s and 90s, and he's a guy I just don't want any part of him at that point. I'm with you. I am semi with you on the Waddle in the 50s. Like I'm not disagreeing there, but I'm just like I do think Waddle will be the one in
yeah,
Denver. Like I think he's the one.
yeah. I just think that they're gonna, Bo Nix is gonna run some in. Their offense is they want to run the ball and when they get leads, they're not going to continue to pass. And if they're playing from behind, that's a different. If they're playing an even or even game script or a lead, you're not going to see that level of production game in, game out. And so it comes down to more game scripts and looking at that. But then if we want to move on to my breakouts, I got two. One is kind of a breakout. He is the running back for the Chargers on Hampton. I think that he's going to be drafted inside the top five next year as one of those join the party elite running backs. And top five running backs next year. And
He's
and I
going
think
high. He's going high already, though. His ADP is right up there with Walker. I
yeah,
think
they're right next to each
Walker
other.
was they're literally like right next to Walker's 16, Hampton 17, 18, depending on where you're at.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to be, worthy of that draft pick and that draft capital. I think that he's got, with the new system, he's the one cut back that can take it to the house. I think we're going to see some long runs from him. He's going to have the opportunity to be up in game and milk clock. I think he's going to see um, far more work, a better offensive line, a healthy offensive line this year.
Healthy
So
offensive line's big. The Chargers were beat to hell on the O line last year.
yeah, and one thing I do closer
Getting
to the
killed.
season is I look at Pro Football Focus's rankings of the offensive line, and that really those like razor thin decisions between one or two players. I go with the better offensive line, and that helps me make those decisions because um,
Yeah,
a good
I do like the dynamic though, man. Because Walker versus Hampton that's a big best ball decision for sure. That could be a big season long decision depending on how it unfolds because those guys are literally almost going back to back. So if you're in that slot and they're both on the board and you have your choice between the two, nailing which one because I think there's a good chance one of those guys is elite, right? Like a elite top five, top three running back. So getting that one right could be the difference between a deep best ball run or a deep season long playoff run compared to uh, just a solid overall push, maybe make the playoffs and fizzle.
yeah. And if you're drafting multiple best ball teams, you should take a little bit of each. You should okay, maybe 60
Yeah,
40,
diversify
70
the
30 for
portfolio
sure.
for sure, for sure.
The other guy is going much later, but still kind of ties into what we're talking about, and that is Xavier Worthy. And a lot of people are poo-pooing him, but he's going as wide receiver 52,
Dude, he's in the
120
one.
so.
Yeah, his ADP is like 120 right now, right? He's way down there.
When you run the ball successfully, it frees up play action, and there's
and
going to
he
be
and he's
opportunity.
he's he's still the fastest guy in the league. I feel you. I like that one, Corp. I like that one.
Too.
That, so that's a guy I put on my list. So I start creating lists, and they ebb and flow. They evolve as the season and training camps and all that, mini camps, all that stuff progresses, and I can just digest more information. But as we sit here right now in mid-May, when I was doing my runs of like guys that I liked at their current ADP, Worthy was on that list because I just think everyone and when I say everyone, I'm talking the fantasy football media community. So the general community is way down on Worthy, and because quite frankly, he was dog shit last year. He sucked.
Well, he got
Um,
hurt the first game by his own teammate, and then was
he,
never the same.
Yeah.
he got hurt, but he played in like 14, 15. He didn't miss much time, man. Like he
No,
just he just was not productive. He was not productive at all. But it was just a weird year for the Chiefs, but I love your point on running the football because if they have to move guys down and respect the run, Worthy can absolutely take the top off the defense and hit on more of those home run shots this year. There's just no doubt about it.
Absolutely.
and the last thing I'll say is somebody from the Raiders receiving core will step up and be worth it. It's you're getting
For me right now, it's Jalen Naylor. Jalen
okay.
Naylor is another guy I had on here in terms of a sleeper. I don't think Trey Tucker has the size to be a consistent week in, week out performer. But I'm a sicko, so I mean, I watch a ton of football, ton of break down a ton of film, and just digest a ton of information as much as I can get. And Naylor was really fucking good last year. Like there was games where he actually outperformed Justin Jefferson. So it's like, and trust me, I get it. Take that with a grain of salt. He's not getting the double teams. He's not getting the number one corner. He's not whose defenses are trying to take away. But there was a lot of games where he was the best receiver on the field for Minnesota last year. And that's saying something when you have Justin Jefferson, who's
Right.
one of the best receivers in football, and Jordan Addison, who's a fucking dumbass, but he's still a talented as hell. But yeah, I think Naylor is another guy on my list, man. I love it. I love it where you can get him with the ADP right now. He's going to get a chance to be an every down player for Vegas. So, yeah, I really like Naylor.
A guy I'm keeping an eye on is it Jack Beck? He's somebody that's basically going undrafted. But if there's any type of positive traction going forward with this new regime, he's going to get an opportunity. If he performs, he's gonna get back in there. He was, somebody that was drafted in rookie draft.
Second round pick, dude. I have him in our dynasty league. I have him, so it's like, I'm with you. Someone for Vegas is going to break out. Like if it was Jack Beck, would I be shocked? No. I mean, he was a fucking second round pick, dude. Second round picks are supposed to contribute. So,
Right.
Yeah, we'll see, man. But I think the arrow overall for Vegas is up. We'll see how that shakes out fantasy wise. They are one of the more interesting teams because you got guys like me. I know I'm in the minority. Like I'm off Genty, but I'm higher on Bowers. I like Naylor. Like I think you can get value in their lower end guys.
Yeah,
good topic though, boys, man. I mean, I'm
Absolutely.
sniffing football. I'm sniffing it, man. Like I said,
It's in the air.
started the best ball earlier than normal, but it's like, dude, we're knocking on the door, man. Like we're 4 months out. Like we're 16, 17 Sundays away. Like it's not crazy. Like it's
I mean, and we're also knocking on, the dead zone of, sports.
Yeah, there's light at the end of the
Just
tunnel.
having baseball.
All right, young Richard, let's keep it rolling. What do you got for us?
All right, being King Hardwood, gonna scoot over back to the NBA. It's been talked about now for a little bit, but what are the odds of Adam Silver in the NBA adding a 4-point shot? If and when, and how will it affect the product of the NBA as a whole?
I'll go first here. I don't think you can 100% rule it out because there was a point in time in basketball where we didn't have a 3-point shot, right? So I think Silver in the NBA in general, like we were talking about with the in-season tournament and those other things, they're definitely more proactive in terms of trying to improve the game and the fan experience more than the other leagues are. They're not afraid to alter stuff. They're not afraid to take chances. They're not afraid to innovate. They know that you have to continually evolve if you want to appeal to the younger generations and maintain your spot at top of the throne. So if anyone's going to make a big change like this, it would be the NBA. It would be a guy like Silver. I don't think it will happen anytime soon. But I could, like, if you told me like this could happen in the next 15 to 20 years, I could absolutely see it. I think it would be good for the average fan. The hardcore basketball fan would hate it because you would have kids just growing up trying to pull up from fucking 4-point range, and it would make the overall quality of the game just way more unwatchable because as it is, the 3-point shot has taken over NBA basketball to the point where it makes some of these games a lot less. It makes some of these games just a lot less appealing overall.
Entertaining and watchable, really.
So I am actually against this. Um, because I just think it will hurt the overall game quality. But I think the average younger fan, like I think if you ask this to anyone that's like under the age of 25, they would be like, "Fuck yeah!" Like 4 point line, yeah.
Jack it up.
Yeah, I mean, the 3-point line has been around since what, 1979. So my entire life, I've only known it as the 3-point line, and I don't know basketball before that. But I'd imagine that they had some reservations moving that into the game when they made the merger. So my thoughts are is I don't want to see that. I want to see more defense, more physicality, more team ball, and not necessarily. Um, Something where um, we're shooting from further away. It doesn't. From watching it at home, I don't want to see more deep jump shots, more ISO 4-point shots. It's just that's not the kind of basketball I want to see. Motion. I want to see offense. I want to see good defense, and it doesn't promote that style of play. It spaces the court much differently, and it does some other things that maybe I'm not fully thinking about, but. Um, I think overall, there are other rule changes that could benefit the game the way that I love it in more of a selfish perspective. But part of me knows I'm being the old curmudgeon here. I'm like, no, don't change my sport. But at the same time, it's like not everybody's Steph Curry. When you watch these teams jack up these 3-pointers and they just miss, they go down the court, shoot another one, miss, go down the court, shoot another one, miss, and it's just a bunch of misses without any offense. Um, it's not enjoyable. But when they're moving the ball and it's you swing it around and somebody drives, oh now open three in the corner, that's beautiful. That's a different, that has rhythm, that has cadence. And
Right.
so there's a part to it. But then if they do it, then invest in that shooter and get him on my team so that way we can win some games with these fours. Everybody raising up the four fingers.
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you guys with like what Sean said. I mean, people younger fans, 25 and younger would definitely love it. Me being a huge NBA fan, my favorite sport, I think it would be terrible, and also don't see it in the near future. But um, also, like Sean mentioned, probably definitely be a possibility in the next 10 to 20 years or something.
All right, so we're old, boys. We're fucking old. We don't want it. Uh, but yeah, like I said, there's a certain point in life you're like, am I the old guy now? And as topics like this come up and we go 0 for 3 on not wanting it, we're becoming more the old guy than the young guy.
Or
Uh,
like you said a couple podcasts ago, we might be becoming our parents.
yeah, you might be becoming the parents. All right, boys. Like Richard has said 37 times today, this is a Detroit sports based podcast. So we do have a local topic in here every week around the league. And of course, this week it is the Pistons. And the question is quite very fucking simple. Friday night leading in and then into Sunday. Is it a funeral? Are we grieving a funeral for the 2025-2026 Detroit Pistons, or are we talking about yet another revival?
So I'll jump in first. We're talking about another revival, and the reason will being a few reasons, but one of them is James Harden. He's going to show his face again. I've said this time and time again, even before the playoffs started. The guy's a choke artist, and if you look back in the history of every team that he's been on in the playoffs, the Rockets, Clippers. If he's in a game 6 or a game 7, he shits the bed every single time. Both those games. And he hasn't even really made a lot of game 7s, but the game 6s, he always shits the bed. And he's going to show his face. He's going to show his face tomorrow. He's going to show his face. And when the Pistons win tomorrow, Cavs aren't going to want to come back, aren't want to travel back to Detroit and play again because they're going to be another victim next to the Magic.
So Here's what I'll say. Unfortunately, I think we're mourning. We're mourning the funeral, boys. I ultimately blame this one on Trajan Langdon. I think we had a great opportunity in a down Eastern Conference to go out and improve the team at the deadline. And his big move was moving up some spots in the draft and grabbing Kevin, the squirter herder. So it's just, I think we get closed out tomorrow. Unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong. I said the same thing in the Orlando series,
Boo.
and I was wrong. But Cade just doesn't have enough help. Like when your secondary scoring options are Danis Jenkins and Tobias Harris, it's just a massive disadvantage. We're playing 3-on-5 offensively when Jalen Duren is on the court because uh, he couldn't score in a whorehouse. And Osser Thompson is a premier defender, but he's an offensive liability. So it's just really hard to play offense 3-on-5. The Cavs are double teaming Cade. They're making it really hard and forcing the ball out of his hands. They're picking him up full court for the majority of the game. They're putting annoying ass defenders like Max Strus and Dean Wade on him and just making it really hard on him. The fact that Cade has had the quality of games that he has had with everything that Cleveland is doing, which is basically daring Sir Thompson to shoot, daring Jalen Duren to have a pulse, and then living with Tobias getting his. I just think there's too many flaws in the current roster construction of the Pistons, and this should be an absolute wake up call for Trajan Langdon to kick his ass into gear. Some major decisions this offseason. The Pistons need to go out and either sign Austin Reeves to a max contract or to make a deal for Tyler Hero. That's the type of player and shooter that we need next to Cade Cunningham that's going to elevate us to the next level and make us a true title contender.
Yeah, I agree that I hope that the way the series has gone in the postseason moves some pieces around so we get another player. I'd take Hero, I take Austin Reeves. There's a handful of other guys that I'd be interested in, but somebody that can play along Cade and help massively because it's hard. Now I do think tomorrow night we're going to take that. The Pistons are going to win, and it's going to go to 7. Now at that point, Cleveland's playing for, this is their run. The Pistons are getting better, and so I wouldn't be surprised if they lost that game 7. Um, we've done a lot this season that you want to see out of a team that's getting better, that's young, but at the same time, we don't have all the pieces, and if Cade isn't like excellent, um, we're not going to make it there. You're not going to be able to advance. And so that was going to be my question. Do you think there's going to be any moves if we win? Do you think the same moves are made, or is it just you can justify keeping this type of roster together?
No,
Um,
I think I think there's going to be moves no matter what if they win and move forward and go to the conference finals because in Trajan Langdon eyes and Tom Gores they're playing I can't remember which one of them said it in an interview but they said they're playing with house money this year which kind of pissed me off. Well, not kind of, it really pissed me off.
well, let's start investing here and let's get somebody because Desmond Bain would have been a great asset. Somebody, do anything and go get somebody. These teams are willing
And
to make those moves.
I wouldn't even have minded them going and getting Franz Wagner from the Magic.
Yeah,
Now
yeah, anybody that can handle the ball in their hands and
he's a
create some
shooter and he's
offense.
a great defender too.
But I do
Yeah,
think that they're going to win Friday.
I just think dude. So are you? So you're picking them to come back and win the series, then, Corporal? Clearly,
Oh,
because if you think they're winning Friday, you don't think they're going to lose Game 7 at home.
ooh, I don't think that it matters as much as it used to. I think that We're such a young team, and we could easily win Friday and lose Sunday. So it's as of now I'm undecided. I guess I got to see him win tomorrow. If you gun to my head, I'm gonna say they win the series.
All right, so we got one funeral and two
Two
revivals.
revival.
One of us is going to be right, and the other will be wrong. All right, shifting in to our next topic. You guys know what time it is. It's Gambling Gurus.
Gambling Gurus Weekend Bets.
All right, quick recap last week in terms of the bets. We all went 1-1 with our bets. That brings Corporal to 6-2. He's leading the way 4.5 points in this interval of the standings. The Hardwood King is a flat 500, 4-4 in second place with 2.5 points, and Dun Diesel dragging up the rear 3-5 with 2 points. We got a lot of betting left. I think we got about a month, 4 or 5 weeks left on this interval. So a lot of time. You can see a lot of movement. How we perform from here on out will ultimately decide it. No one running away with it, and no one necessarily tanked in the cellar. All right. First things first, Corporal the Nails is May 22nd locked in. Corp, you're on mute. Oh, Corp's taking a piss. All right, we'll come back to it. So the plan is May 22nd, so Friday, May 22nd, Corporal serves out the punishment. We finally can put this thing to bed, get it over with, and then we can start talking dates for Rick and I to do the stand-up. I'm already working on my routine. So looking forward to that. Corp, you were on the taking a piss. Are we a full go for May 22nd?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get it done with. Let's rip this Band-Aid off. I'm good to go.
All right.
All right, let's
It's
go.
happening. Let's go. All
I
right.
had one more thing. It's about time.
No one has not wanted to do a punishment more than Corporal has not wanted to get these nails done. So
And to be fair, like a lot of it wasn't on me to push it off this long, but it's like this dark cloud has been following me, and I'm not running from it. There's just things that have happened in life, and it's just like so much. So it's like, okay, it's been a while. Let's just get it done and move on.
Right.
Like,
yeah. I think a part of you is going to be like, this sucks, but a part of you is going to be relieved that it's just fucked
Thank
up.
God it's over.
Yeah.
Now I don't have to look at 4 or 5 days a week on Sean and Rick texting me, "Hey, so are we nailed down for the nails? Are we nailing down a date?" No response from Corporal.
and that's not even avoiding that. I've just been so busy at work, which is a great
I
thing,
know.
but
I'm
it's
just
like,
busting
but
your balls.
it's in there. I look at my phone occasionally and like, oh, yep, there's another text from these assholes.
All right. So a couple things, guys. I do want to propose a couple changes. Obviously, this is a democracy, so majority rules. What I think would be better moving forward, two things. So for the punishment suggestion in the vote, I think it needs to go to a full 3-0 to be added into the pool. So I think it needs to be unanimous. Because
Okay.
right now we're adding almost we're adding 90% of them into the pool, and some of them
Every week.
are diluted and they're never going to get picked. So I just think we need to be a little bit more stringent, and it has to be a 3-0 vote to add it into the pool. What do you guys say about that? That's my first one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think that if that helps with kind of making sure that they're of quality. And I think maybe on top of that, we should be a little bit more free to say no, not because it's even because we don't feel like doing it, but maybe it's not strong enough to
Correct.
as a punishment. And so, like, well,
Right,
if
or
we're
like so
excited,
it won't get picked.
yeah, if we think that it's not going to get picked, that it shouldn't move on. It's not strong enough to even sit through that later on when you got to go through 200 punishments. Let's make sure that they're quality punishments.
Yeah, because then we can just condense the list down. Instead of having a list of literally 40, it can be a list of 10 to 12 legitimate options. You know what I mean? It could be more, but you
Yeah,
understand the premise.
yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
So we're good on that. 3-0 vote starting today moving forward to go into the pool. The other thing I was thinking about is I think we should have one veto. One veto. If you're the last place guy, you can veto something once in a calendar year. So, how that works, say Beach gets the last place thing, and I assign to him whatever the worst punishment may be, that he has to shit his pants. And he's like, no, I don't want to do this. He can use his one veto, and then a different punishment has to be assigned for that interval. But if Beach loses the next interval, and whoever wants to come back and be like, "Hey, Beach, I'm picking you. You have to shit your pants." His veto's gone. So
He's got to shit his pants.
he's got to shit his pants. So I want to know your guys' thought on a veto. So it would be one veto per person for the entire year, and that doesn't veto the punishment out of the pool or from being assigned to you in the future. It just buys you a reprieve in that moment. The veto. What do you guys think? So it only buys you reprieve for that moment in time. It doesn't wipe it off the table.
I use the veto on the nails.
No.
Then I vote no.
You pussy.
That's fine. All right. That might hurt you, Corporal.
Maybe, and maybe we'll talk about it in
Hey,
three,
you never know.
three.
Maybe in a few months you might have to shit your pants.
Yeah, that's gonna be somebody's recommendation real soon. So
Veto off the table, short-sighted decision. You know how those normally come back. Karma can be a bitch. All right, leading in. Punishment suggestion and vote. Corporal kicks off.
I'm just gonna. There we go. I mean, move it up there. You have to walk. You go golf 18 holes. You have to walk the whole time, no cart, and you have to wear like some kind of team mascot probably with like the whole head and everything, and golf in that the whole time.
This would suck. Um, I don't think it has as much comedic value as one we already got in the pool, which is having to golf as the lifeguard. I think that one just has more comedic overall value. So I think on this one,
It's a no for me, dog. It's a yes for me, dog. It's a no for me, dog.
it's a no for me, dog.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree here, and it's no for me because just due to the fact, like you said, Sean, we already got the lifeguard one, and it's got the more comedic factor, like you said.
All right, hey, dude, these are going to be interesting because we're gonna be a little bit more rigid. We're not just trying to build up the pool. All right, I think I got a good one. I think this one would absolutely suck. I think it checks the comedy box. My punishment suggestion is you have to piss your pants in public, and then you have to hold up a sign that lets everyone know that you piss your pants because you suck at betting for an hour at some type of local farmers market while still wearing your pissed on, soiled on pants.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I peed my pants. Um, not something that happens too often. That would suck. I mean, I think that the actual pee rather than like a water bottle stain type pee
No,
is
100% real. Yeah, real piss.
it makes it real. It makes it the stink is there. I think that's like something that is we all can do it. We just
And
choose
and
not to.
and there's no high like you have to piss them in public. There's no like behind a tree pissing them. Like you're pissing them out in the open and
Holding
Well,
the
holding
sign,
up your
yeah.
sign.
pissed right down the leg.
And I don't think it's the worst one on the list. So, um, not that I want this to happen to me, but there's definitely worse ones on the in the pool already. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, yeah, I think that's a funny one. It's an hour. You're embarrassed, but it's not any type of detriment. It's a rip the band-aid off, pee your pants, be humiliated, and then go take a shower. So I'll be a yes.
All right, well, up to me. Um, yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Corp. It's not. There's some other ones on here that are worse. It's only an hour. Piss your pants. Hold up the sign that you suck at betting and standing there with your soiled pissed pants. Yeah, it's gonna be a yeah for me.
I think it's a good one. I think this one would suck. I think it is. I don't think it's unbearable because it's an hour and you're done. But I do think it's one of the. I think it's one of the shittier ones on the list. At least in my opinion. Like it's a rough one, dude. You soil your drawers and like you have to soil it in public and like you got the stream of piss running down in your area that you're holding your sign and you got traffic there. Like this is a potential.
Now, can we
I
add
don't.
something to it, like you got to wear like a certain outfit so you can see the that you got
I
piss
think for
pants?
sure. Yeah, yeah, that would definitely. It would have to be like some light colored khakis or something like that, where like it's very
Yeah, as
evident
long as it's not like blue
that
jeans, I think the right color it's gonna show.
yeah, like you're looking. When I think of this, I think of like yeah, like a Billy Madison type outfit when he's rocking the khakis and he pissed his pants and like it's he pissed his pants.
Right.
Yeah,
You think there's any? I don't think you can like get in trouble with the cops for pissing your pants, can you?
you might get in trouble for loitering like that. Like they're not gonna appreciate it, but
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean
um,
they
I don't.
might. I mean there is crazy people out there, obviously, in today's society. So maybe someone
I
might
don't think
call the
it's
cops and say,
illegal.
"Hey, there's a
Yeah.
guy that's having a fucking medical emergency out here. He's pissed his pants and hold up on the sign. I think he's crazy."
it might be something where you have to pee your pants off the property and then walk on. You know that like if you pee your pants at the front door and there's pool of piss right there, they're probably not gonna be too happy.
Yeah. Then someone at the business probably will definitely call the cops. Like there's a puddle of piss underneath him, and
All
he's a
right,
threat to himself and society.
we got one in, young Richard.
So mine's kind of it's kind of like the maybe like both of the golf ones. Go out and offer to do lawn work for free. Obviously it's weather dependent. Cut the grass obviously would have to be in the summertime or late fall, or maybe you have to offer to do the leaves, and have to wear a ridiculous outfit of the winner's choice. Obviously a set number of lawns, jobs, whatever you have to do.
Corp, I'll let you go first on this one.
I'm just trying to think about depending on the outfit and where you're at. I think a lot of people will welcome free lawn care, but I don't know how humiliating it's going to be unless the selector has a little bit more say in not only the outfit but the location. Because you pick the wrong location, it's not going to be as exciting for the viewers. But there's some credence to that. I mean, I don't know how many hours of lawn care anybody's doing, so it might only be just your first person that you get to say yes, and then you're done. You know that you're doing two or three lawns. But I think the fact that you're going up to the door and saying, "Hey, dressed in Daisy Dukes in a tied off shirt,"
Crop top or something. Yeah.
yeah,
So
like
my only concern is, just as we're talking this through, my only concern is if you're in the outrageous offense. I mean, if you're in the outrageous outfit, is any sane person going to let you do their lawn?
Or
potential.
maybe go up to the person's door, dress normal at first, and tell them what you're doing. Maybe.
And then like rip off the pants like you got called into the
Yeah, like
game, like
the party boy and Jackass, and have the
yeah,
assless chaps.
yeah, rip it off, and then there you're out there, fucking yeah. Yeah, I think there's some, I mean, credence to it. I don't. My fear is that I don't think anybody's going to select this over the many that we have in the pool. I think there's going to be, you want to come do some lawn care at my house, then I'll select you to do that, and you can bother my wife and do our lawn and maintenance it here. But I don't know that I'm going to select this over. I don't know some of the other ones where you got to go in the gay parade or you got to certain haircuts or these things that are you know the ones we've already chosen are
Get
so
walk
elite
like a
compared to
dog at
this.
the dog park.
Yeah, like those are elite, or shit in your pants. Like those are elite punishments. I just don't think it fits that tier.
Yeah, I just think overall, I don't think it's a bad one. My thoughts with Corporal, I just don't see it ever getting picked. It wouldn't even get picked over the one we just put in the pool, which is having to piss your pants in public. Like I don't think it's we got 6 intervals. I don't think it ever even makes it into to the decision making process. So I think Corporal and I can both agree.
It's a no for me, dog.
All right, so we add one. We add one, and hey, guys, and I think some weeks it could be adding one. Some weeks it could be adding none. Uh, I think ultimately, and I think what we should do is go back, revisit what we have in the pool, and sort of whittle it down um, to all the unanimous ones. But we can do that offline. That doesn't have any effect on the Alpha Army. All right, let's get into it. Like I said, I think we got. I think when I checked, it's 5, potentially 6 segments left. So this interval ends in line with the NBA Finals. So whenever it's game 4, 5, 6, 7, like that last week of the finals is when this betting interval ends.
Okay.
Just to refresh and update the viewers at home. So we got some critical weeks ahead. Let's get right into it.
The Hardwood King.
All right, young Richard, I want your bet of the weekend and your dog of the weekend.
All right. So my bet of the weekend is going to be tomorrow night. Pistons plus 4.5, minus 124 over on FanDuel. Then my dog of the week, I'm sticking with the Pistons, but I'm going minus 4.5 because most of these games, they're going to have you know, the zigzag factor, and I'm going to go with the Pistons minus 4.5 at plus 220, also over on FanDuel.
Richard taking a big swing there. That would be a 2-pointer. Uh,
Yep.
get on with your bad self. I do like the angle though. I do like the angle there, King Hardwood, because if the Pistons are going to win, they're probably going to cover the 4.5. That would be my thought. So it's like it's a good double, and then for some reason, if they do lose, you're just hoping that they lose tight. So, yeah, obviously a Cavs fucking winning comfortably just blows up both of your bets. That's the only risk there. But this is definitely a potential double pop where you hit both if the Pistons win, in my opinion.
Yep. Yes, sir.
All right, you heard it there from the Hardwood King. And King Hardwood, tell these people where to find your bets and all the other bets that we post for free currently out there on Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah, you can find it over on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, Alphas Talk Pod, and then over on Facebook, Alphas Talk Betas Walk Podcast is the handle.
There it
Still,
is.
the bets aren't going to be free forever, so get over there and tail the winning bets.
Yeah, there should be a paywall now. There isn't. We're trying to build this up the right way. Free loyalty. Have everyone build up their bankrolls. We're all in this together. And hopefully we build this pot up big enough where there's never a paywall for the picks. It's just a part of being in the Alpha Army. That is the ultimate goal. That's the dream situation for all of us here.
The Prowler picks.
All right, so I got a couple of picks for the Alpha Army here. I'm going to start off with the T Wolves plus 4.5. The line's moving. It looks like it's up to 5.5 for your standard one or minus 110. So I like them to potentially win, but this game's going to be close. I think the Ant-Man is gonna make it happen, and I think that we get a game 7 here. And my dog of the week will be the Pistons to kind of piggyback on what Beach said. Some of that, I think they're going to win outright, force a game 7. So I think on Sunday, we're going to have 2 game 7s to watch, and it's going to be very good for the NBA and for this round to finish with 2 7s and give us some more TV entertainment. At that point, I don't know that it's just not going to be the Spurs winning in 7, but I like the T Wolves plus the points, and I like the Pistons on the money line.
You heard
Yeah,
it there from the Prowler.
and I think um, the I think you have a great stance there, Corp. And where I stand too is there's going to be both these series. Even when the Pistons were up 2-1, I thought this was going to go. Both series were going to go 7 games. When the Spurs and T Wolves were tied 2-2, and they decided obviously not to suspend Wemmy for obvious on purpose elbow, and they're both going to go to game 7s, and they got to make the NBA obviously is the most rigged sport, and they got to make up their money for the 2 other shitty semifinal series that were both sweeps and blowouts. So definitely like that stance.
Yeah, the opposite end of the conspiracy spectrum is both ends tomorrow, and they just want to move on to the conference finals. But we shall see, boys. That's the great thing. That's we get to see how this all plays out.
The Diesel Diamond.
The Diesel Diamonds. Feeling pretty damn good about these ones, boys. So my bet of the weekend, I don't think it's enough to get it done and result in the win, but I am taking Cade Cunningham for 25 plus points. That's minus 198 on DraftKings. I just don't see any world where the Pistons are even in this game if Cade don't go for 25 plus. There's just not enough offensive scoring punch on the Pistons for him not to score if the Pistons are going to be in this game with a chance to win. My dog of the week with a similar sentiment, staying at home, it's Dennis Jenkins, 10 plus points, plus 103. It is looking like Duncan Robinson is going to give it a go tomorrow night. What we do know is he's not 100%, and the Pistons desperately need secondary scoring options beyond Cade Cunningham. So whether he's starting or coming off the bench, they are going to need Dennis Jenkins to score the basketball. I don't expect another 24-point game from Karis LeVert. So I think, again, if the Pistons are going to be competitive in this game, I think Dennis is going to have to get into double figures. So I think we got a lot of bets that are sort of intertwined. But if the Pistons get blown out or don't show up tomorrow, then we could end up losing 5 or 6 of these, and no one make up any ground on anything. So That's where I'm at, and we will see how it shakes out. Moving on to the second segment of the show. It's the Alphas in Action.
Questions of the week.
This is the question of the week, the happy hour, lunch table, water cooler, group text, burning topic that the dudes out there, the homies, are wondering about. They want that definitive answer from the alpha perspective, and we are here to give it to you. I am going to kick us out, and my topic is this, boys. We're fresh off Mother's Day, and I got on the topic with someone about dog moms. They were asking slash arguing if someone doesn't have kids, but they view their dogs as a kid, so they're a dog mom. Like, do you wish them a happy Mother's Day, or do you acknowledge them as a mother? I thought it was an egregious, outrageous sort of thing to even debate or entertain, but it did lead me to my question of the week, which is not that, but it's still about dog moms, and it's how do you feel about this faction of people in the population overall who consider their dog their kids, or that they are actually a parent, even though they don't have a human being because they consider their dog their baby. What's the thoughts, boys?
I'll go first. And it's simple as this: these people are psychopaths. They're not your child. They're your pet. They're not going to. Are they going to call you on Mother's Day and wish you a happy Mother's Day? No. Are they going to buy you a present? No. They're your dog. You're not. You don't need to. And say, I mean, go to different holidays when it's a dog's birthday. I've seen people on post pictures on Facebook, and there's a fucking birthday cake in front of the
Oh,
dog.
dude, dog moms buy their dog's birthday cakes, candles, balloons. I've seen
Yeah,
the
that's
fucking.
that's that's fine if you want to buy him that stuff, but you don't need to put it out there like it's a person because it's not a
I've seen the
person.
dogs wearing the party hats. I've seen a lot of it, man.
Yeah, I've seen it all. It's psycho behavior. Like I said, are they gonna get you a gift for Mother's Day? No. Are they gonna call you and wish you happy Mother's Day? Are they gonna take you out to eat? Are they gonna do this or that? No, they're gonna do none of that for you. They're your dog.
I mean, pet parents are losers, man. Like they just there's just a level of like you're missing the whole point of being a parent. It's a pet. They're gonna die before you. You're gonna get another one. Um, it's ridiculous.
Court going complete morbid on it.
Well, yeah,
Well,
I
I
mean,
mean,
he's right. I mean, it's like when you yell at the dog. I mean, you can get your kid to listen to you. I mean, 9 times out of 10, when you tell your dog to not do something, I mean, he's gonna keep doing. He's gonna do it again because he's a
I
dog.
I pray my kids all outlive me. I know that my pet will never outlive me. You know, it's ridiculous to think that like you're on the same level as a mom that gave birth to a child going through the worst pain, and then having to spend time, money, effort raising them, to think that you're on the same level as somebody because you purchased a pet, like you made a choice to have like something that um is it's a pet. It's called a pet for a reason. It's not the same thing as a child. And it's just ridiculous that these people think that, and if these pet parents were to have a real kid, that pet becomes second and third fiddle to their lives, and they no longer want to be a pet parent, and they don't.
Yeah,
So
you nailed it. So we're 3 for 3 on this. I was just interested to hear your perspective, and the topic was worth it just for the sound bites alone, which were epic. Uh, but I think Court nailed a big one on the end right there. Like, you see these dog moms, like, if at some point they do actually have a real kid and become a real mom, The dog gets booted to the curb, man. The dog goes from sleeping in the bed and eating good to fucking to the dog bed to the floor and eating kibbles and bits. Like it's crazy. They
He
go from
gets pun intended. He gets kicked to the doghouse.
he does. Like he goes from the phone background and in picture frames to not even into the equation. So it's like it's one of those things that people like hype this up because that's like what their circumstance is at the time, or that's what their life is, and they just want to make themselves seem relevant and important. This is main dog moms is main character syndrome. It's about making something about them that isn't about them. Owning a pet does not make you a mother. You're just trying to make something about you so you can get credit and accolades from other people to make yourself feel more important about whatever it may be.
That's supposed to teach children responsibilities or make old people feel less lonely. Like it
Yeah, for
doesn't mean that you're a mom.
hey, I got two dogs. I love my dogs. Like they're great. They're great companions. They're always excited to see you. That this is by no means an attack on dogs. Like
Oh
I
no,
absolutely
absolutely no. I got a dog
I,
too, so yeah.
I I love my dogs. I treat them as part of the family. Like it's okay. Like it is 100% okay to be like, hey, the dogs are a part of my family. Like I treat them like a family member. Like
Right.
that is fine. But it just it's a whole different level when you're trying to actually like equate it to that being uh your child. Like they're a member of your family, but at the end of the day, they're still a pet. All right, Court, what do you
All
got for
right,
us?
all right, we're taking it down a little different path here, gentlemen. A little would you rather? Would you rather always have obnoxiously loud farts or obnoxiously smelly farts?
So
uh yeah,
I'll
go
go
ahead.
first.
Richard's got a fucking rank ass brand, though. I can tell you that. There's a couple. We're dealing with two co-hosts whose farts have a very unique smell, and it's not pleasant. So let me just provide some color for the listening audience out there. Like Richard and Corporal's farts, they're fucking rancid, and their brand is very unique to them.
So mine, since I guess it's a personal thing, since mine are rancid and smell really fucking bad. I would rather have smelly farts because you can have you can have silent but deadly, man. You don't
I
hear it, man, but that smell comes, man, boom, and so yeah,
yeah,
I would rather have the rancid smelly boys.
what you do, you definitely you'd rather, and you do. Uh, I've had the unfortunate advantage of smelling more of these guys' farts than I would like to admit or acknowledge. So for me, uh, I love just so everyone likes their own brand, right? So like I'm definitely not above a like a waft. Like you want to see the quality of the fart for sure. But there's just nothing better than a nice loud fucking extended rip. It sort of proclaims your dominance. You're like, yeah, I just fucking ripped that. Yeah, it was loud. It's an alpha thing to do, just to rip a loud ass fart. So for me, man, it's I like ripping the loud boys and just getting the reaction and just like you rip a nice loud one too. It there's a greater sense of relief. Like you feel a greater sense of like physical relief from your gut and stomach area when you rip a loud one compared to just a silent boy. At least in my opinion.
Yeah, that silent one, those can be deadly. Those you talking about liking your own brand. Some of those silent ones get me to leave the room. I'm not.
But
I'm
it's
not sure.
trailing right behind you the whole time.
Oh yeah, my crop dust is elite. I mean,
well,
I've got
Yeah,
well,
mine too.
I got what 3 pukes under my belt. I'm a champion. That's it.
I mean, literally, like out of all the people I know in life, like I'm talking thousands of people, like you two have the most rancid farts
Yeah,
that
I
I've
know I've made you puke. I think I made
that I
your when we used to live together. I'm pretty sure I made your wife puke too
you did. I have
in the car. I think.
I have puked from both of your guys' farts, like so that's crazy to say.
Yeah, that's that's I feel honored to be in this this selection. Um, that being said, the stink that comes from my ass is so recognizable that like there's no getting away with it. Like
No.
my wife knows it from me and the kids. If I'm with anybody that has gotten to know me and smelled my ass, it is so like people used to defend me like, oh, that's not Corp, it's not his brand. Like they just would, they know it that well that they're defending that
Like
it
that's
wasn't.
they'd be like, oh, that's weak. That's not him.
Yeah, that's not that. It doesn't have that stink to it, that little bite. And so I will go with the loud fart. Like you said, there's a dominant thing when I have my kids pull my finger and rip ass, and it sends them on. It's it's there, but when it's like the silent one, it's a letdown. It's like, oh, that's no, that's and
And then that boy's gonna stink too when
yep.
it's the silent one.
Oh
You're like,
yeah,
oh yeah, this is gonna be bad. You guys might want to move.
yeah. A lot of the times I'll do the. Do you guys smell popcorn? You guys smell the popcorn? And they'll take a big whiff of that. And it's like, nope, that's not popcorn.
So a follow up question: did you pass on that distinctive Corporal brand to any of your kids to
I am
where they got that
happy. I'm very
same
happy to
like?
say my oldest has the flavor. The brand will continue on, and it is generational that is happening. My wife just said it to me the other day. She was like, "I can't believe Theo has your farts," and I was like, "Yeah,
Oh, that is
Proud dad moment.
oh my
yeah."
god.
It's up there. That's definitely one of the top proud moments. I didn't know that that was going to happen, and it did. And I am excited to say that this is it will continue on. The legacy
he,
continues.
Dude, he just got to lean into it. Like, I mean, when you got a brand as distinct and potent as you do, like you have to look at it as a weapon. You don't look at
Yeah,
the negative. Like you look at it as like a superpower.
yeah. You don't realize it when you're 9, but when you're 13, 14, 15,
Yeah. Like
clearing up.
when you can clear a room or make your buddies puke, like it's like that. I know you loved it. Like in those moments, you loved it.
Oh, it was so funny the times that you pulled over to puke, and I'm like, dude, we're like 5 minutes from my, we're almost
Dude,
there.
they're so fucking bad. Like it's crazy. I can smell it right now. Like that like the nostalgia in the air. Like I can smell both of your brands right now, and it's completely unpleasant. All right, Rick, tough spot for you following up that topic. But what do you got for us?
All right, so my question of the week is this: are certain food, snack, or drink companies taking it too far with the flavored stuff?
Yeah,
I mean,
so I assume like just to get some clarity on the question, I assume you're talking like when the like a crazy fucking like ketchup flavored Oreos or something like that, or
Yeah,
just
so I'll
something
give
like
you an
off the
example.
wall.
The example like I've saw it in the store before, like fucking mac and cheese ice cream, or the most recent one I saw was talking with a couple of my buddies in another group text the other day about cereal flavors. And the one that came up that sounded, and we all said the same thing, it sounded absolutely awful. Root beer float cinnamon toast crunch. I don't know anybody that would want to have a root beer float cereal. Like it just sounds terrible.
So for me, I think again, this is sad, boys. This is a sad discussion because I think we're all gonna be get off my lawn guy because I think we're going to go 3 for 3 on that. The answer is yes, but I don't know if it's as much of an indictment on the companies or if it's just we are becoming older and more crotchety. Uh, because for me, none of the off the wall flavored stuff interests me, but like my kids like it. And I think the younger generation likes it. So, like, as a business, I understand why they're doing it from a monetary perspective because if you can spark interest, you can spark sales. So overall, I have a mixed answer. For me, absolutely. Like, I'm not interested in any of this shit. It sounds awful. It's a complete waste of shelf space or a waste of product ingenuity. So a clear no for me, but from the company perspective, I get it.
Yeah, I'm on the same vein with a lot of the stuff, but where I've found myself enjoying it and not just like happenstance is in like the chip department, where like a lot of these chips that I wouldn't have necessarily thought would have been good flavors, you try them and they're like, oh, that's better than I would have thought. That's, that combination works.
Yeah, like they did. So one of them, like while we're on it, like I brought up ketchup flavored Oreos. I don't think that's a real thing, but they did do like the ketchup. Remember, they did the ketchup Doritos and like the mustard Doritos.
Yeah.
I believe it was like the mustard ones were actually pretty damn good. And
Yeah,
I would have,
the hot mustard ones were
yeah,
delicious.
yeah, and I wouldn't have thought of eating like a
And
mustard Dorito. So like they
no,
did get me there, and I did enjoy it.
I think in
and
that lane it works, but like as you expand to different stuff, especially when you got to add a second element to it, like with cereal, you're adding milk. That's where it's like, I'm good. Or if it's like a dairy product where it's ice cream or
Yeah, like the
um,
Pop Tart ice cream sandwiches are out right now. Like they're doing another one I seen was oatmeal cream pie ice cream sandwiches.
that sounds fire though. I don't know, man. That's
yeah,
that
that now
sounds.
that sounds good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a treat. Like and I think Court made a good point. I mean, you guys both pretty much agreed on it, but where this idea came from for the question today, I was at the gas station after golf. I saw this chip brand. It's called Great Lakes Chips. Great Lakes potato chips. They had here's the I took a picture. Some of the flavors was Wisconsin cheddar and sea salt style, Michigan cherry barbecue, jalapeno ranch and sea salt, buffalo wing, sea salt, pepper, and onion. I was like, man, now the chip department, I agree, but I mean, like Corp said, I mean that that doesn't sound bad. That ice cream sandwich that you just mentioned, actually.
Yeah, like where'd you say
I
that
mean,
was
like,
at?
and other things like, what's that?
Oh, no, I agree that that sandwich sounded fire. So
I mean, if they had a little Debbie chocolate chip cookie ice cream sandwich, I would buy like 10 of those.
So I think you guys are in. Like you're in on it.
But I mean, like certain stuff, like I said, like the off the wall stuff, like like I said, they do have that mac and cheese ice cream. Like that just sounds gross. I don't want to eat a cold mac and cheese, like frozen mac and cheese.
Like
Or,
some of them
or,
are good.
or
Like those Gatorade mashups are fire, where they combine the two flavors. Like the lemon lime and orange one is delicious.
we were
or to
just
have
talking about this.
orange, like I don't even know, it's like some of the things I don't even know why people would even think about it, like orange Coke or orange Diet Coke, like that it doesn't even sound like it would go together to like put a orange slice in a pop.
See that I can see where that comes from because like if you go to a certain restaurant or bar and they have all the fruit available to you, um, sometimes I would jazz it up for the guests. Like you're only getting a Coke, but everybody got these like foo drinks. And so I put like some fruit on the drink. And so it's like happenstance that would happen. Then you squirt it in and you try it, and now you're addicted to it. And that was what I was trying to say a moment ago is how some of these like weird combinations start is by accidentally being on the same plate and they start to cross over and you kind of take a bite and it's a
Yeah.
little mix of both. And you're like, that was a good combination. I like blueberries with my whatever, with my goldfish. and now you're mixing them up, and whatever it is, you're putting them on your sandwich now, and that's how these kids get these weird combinations because they start off a la carte, and then they start eating them together. It's like, oh, I like pepperonis and blueberries together.
Yeah. Right on, right on. Let's keep the train moving, boys. And it's recommendation of the week time.
Weekly recommendation.
So this is a movie, show, music, drink, food, health, wealth, something tangible, something you can go out and act upon, something that can make your life better and add immediate improvement. I will kick us off. My recommendation of the week this week is the Upside app. If you got an iPhone, like anyone that's sane, go to the App Store, download it. Upside, just how it sounds. Gas is pushing $5 a gallon. Food is at an all-time high in terms of cost. The Upside app gives you cash back for these everyday purchases. Not every gas station or restaurant offers it, but you can search by your location the places around you that do. And the gas discounts can be anywhere from 4 to 40 cents a gallon. Everyone needs gas. It's one of those things you have to buy. You might as well get a little kickback on it. The Upside app is awesome. And then they do have restaurants on there, pizza, burgers, things are more of like the fast casual that you can get some crazy good deals on. We're talking 20, 30, 40, 50% back and cash back onto the app. So I encourage everyone, go out and download it, leverage it. It's real. It works. You can cash it out for gift. You can cash out the cash you earn for gift cards, get a little bit more mileage for the buck, or you can just cash it out straight as cash. Upside app. Hit your Google Play or your Apple App Store. Court, what do you got for us?
All right, this is a little bit more, real life here, and can help you with financially, like Sean's was. But you got to get three opinions or three estimates or three quotes before making a large purchase. If it's going to be 10K or more, you need to be getting multiple opinions on this. If you're buying a car, if you're getting work done on your home, if you're not utilizing the three quotes, you can really pit it against each other and get such a better price. And to be lazy and not to negotiate that, you're just wasting thousands of dollars. I see this firsthand all the time, and it works. It is a way for you to leverage the contractors or the salesman to provide um, a better price for you. And if you're not doing that and you're just going with the first person, you're not doing it right. You're missing the opportunity. Spend a little bit of extra time to have a second and third person come out, and that way you can negotiate that price in a way that you can if you don't have that information. So get three quotes, negotiate, get a better deal. Don't be lazy about it. Spend that extra time, save yourself, anywhere from 500 to 5,000.
So what
I
I
like
will
it.
say, I agree with this. 99% of the time, the first price you get from someone is not their best price. So, whether it's just getting multiple quotes and leveraging it or just negotiating with that one company or person, like I said, 99% of the time, that first price, it's rarely a best and final where it's a true best and final. So, don't leave meat on the bone, baby. That's Corporal's recommendation of the week. No meat on the bone.
Love it.
Young Richard.
All right, fresh off opening league night. My recommendation of the week is join a golf league and thank me later. It is the ultimate escape from stress from work, having to deal with your wife, girlfriend, kids. It's the ultimate escape from everything in life. Whatever is going on in general. You get to meet up with your buddies, friends from work, get away from from everything for a couple hours, enjoy the weather. Um, just it's fantastic, man. I wish I would have got in a league a long time ago. I've been golfing my whole life. Started golf when I was like 12, 41 now, and last year was my first year, and I'll never not be in a golf league ever again. Even if I like last week or last year, I joined the league and I only knew one person, and that person's a good friend of mine, and they ended up leaving me stranded. So and I ended up making some new friends, and yeah, it's great, man. So join a golf league.
Do you have any
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the underrated aspect of joining any league, but specifically like golf or bowling, to where it's like an individual sport that you can combine into a team aspect, is the league camaraderie. Like you're gonna meet a lot of new people and a lot of new friends because you're just with them consistently every week. So
Right.
it's one of those things that it's like, yeah, it's a different group of friends. You're expanding your horizons, and like I said, those people you end up they end up becoming friends, and you look forward to whatever night that league is to catch up with those people that you don't talk on a day to day basis with.
Is
Right.
there
The thing,
a
like,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Is there a minimum skill level that you would recommend for joining the golf league?
Mm,
If you're shooting over 60 on nine, then I wouldn't join.
yeah, I mean the worst guy, and yeah, I mean if you're, yeah, I would probably say, yes. I mean
So
even 60
if you're
might
not
be even
tracking your
60.
score, you shouldn't join a league.
I just think if you're over 60 consistently, so if you're over 60 on nine, so
I
if you're
mean, yeah,
60
and you're gonna
plus,
have
so
a max, and you're gonna be. I mean, if you're that bad, you're gonna be picking up your ball every other hole or every six of the nine holes.
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of guys that think that this would be a good idea, but then they don't play enough already. And so I think that there's like a minimum amount of golf you should be playing before you join the golf league. But I think it's a great idea if somebody that golfs a lot, then join the league if you're already doing it. If you're just doing it casually, it might not be something that you need to join a league. You just need to go golf more.
Yeah, and
well
I mean
the thing
there
is
was
though, the thing is though,
there.
Court, a lot of times, especially for people that don't have the work flexibility, like if you don't join that league and have the dedicated time set aside and the excuse to golf every week, you just don't end up golfing or whatever it is. Like the league gives you the automatic out with the wife or with the family, like, hey, Thursdays or whatever the day is,
Well,
like
that sounds like a beta
I got
problem.
golf
You
league.
you
I got
alpha
golf
up
league.
and you say you got a golf league, and then you just go to different golf courses. You can still play in golf league. And
You could do that. You could do that and then actually just go out and golf. Um, but then you're recruiting people to golf with you. You know what I mean? Because golfing solo isn't as fun.
yeah, I mean, it just comes down to I think that early stages of golf, you got to get out and do it, and then as you do it long enough, joining the league is where it is. I just think I'm at a stage where I wouldn't join a golf league. I need to golf more. If I started
I
golfing
think
more,
you're good at you're good. You're not good, but you're good enough to join a league. Like you wouldn't be. You would be one of the bottom guys in the league, but you're still good enough that you could play in the league.
And
Would
you're gonna be in contention because you're gonna have a big ass handicap. So I mean, it's not all
yeah,
that bad. We had two guys actually that just started golfing last year. The one guy was absolutely horrible, and I mean, I golfed with him probably. I mean, we had I think it was 12 or 14 weeks, I think, and I mean, I saw him getting better and better and better every time I golf with him.
All right, boys. You know what time it is.
Power stance.
It is power stance time. So let's hear it and let's hear it. Young Richard, start us off.
Power stance. Had to go on
uh,
mute for a second there to clear my throat. So
I'm
my
waiting for the
power
next
stance
person
of
to
the week
cough.
is
I'm
this.
hoping it's not me.
So my power stance of the week is this. Never give up on becoming a better version of yourself from the day before. Hard work pays off, dreams come true.
Young Richard with the inspirational. Sometimes we call him Mr. Hardwoods. The other times we call him Mr. Positive. J. Court, let's hear it. And let's hear it.
Power stand. Do today what others won't. So tomorrow you can do what others can't. The Jerry Rice quote, like that. I like to put in the work today, knowing that the future is brighter. Do the thing that's hard so that way tomorrow you can do the thing that's fun and easy.
There we go, guys. We got a lot of positive vibes going around with the boys this week. Power stance! And my power stance is this. An outdoor fire is just absolutely elite and makes everything better. It don't matter what you're doing, what time of the year it is, whether it's spring, whether it's summer, fall, winter, what's going on, what the activity is. If you have the fire going, it just increases the overall energy and vibes. It makes you want to stay outside longer. It is just one of those things, whether it's drinking beers by the fire, whether it's roasting marshmallows, listening to music, doing what, standing there, literally sitting and just enjoying the fresh air. An outdoor fire is absolutely elite. That wraps us up for today. It was great being back. We appreciate you guys joining in. Hit the likes, hit the subscribes. We thank you for being a part of this journey with us and being in the Alpha Army. As always, this is Dun Diesel reminding you, don't be a beta bitch. Alpha's out. Woo!